Effects on the soil. Soil is very important. Without, this thin layer of soil, 30 centimeters or whatever, humans or all nature could not survive. So that's very important. And soil quality, soil health is deteriorating at a very fast speed. So we have to rejuvenate the soil from the level of viruses, bacteria, fungi, algae, and so on. And that is done with the help of Agnihotra and Agnihotra ash. Just one example. Phosphorus, we know that phosphorus is essential for plants. And normally farmers just add this rock phosphate or whatever to the plants. But phosphorus is normally available. It is present in the soil, but not available for plants because it's not water soluble. So this experiment showed that if you add Agnihotra ash to the soil, the percentage of water soluble phosphorus increases by 3 or 4 times. And then the question was, this experiment was done in US more than 30 years ago. Then a couple of years ago in Germany, this experiment was replicated and gave the same result. And then the question is, okay, how come that the phosphorus is getting more water soluble if you add Agnihotra ash? And the hypothesis was that there are bacteria which make the phosphorus water soluble, and maybe these bacteria are increased if you add Agnihotra ash. And that experiment was experimentally checked, and the hypothesis was confirmed. Some experiments showed that if you add Agnihotra, 1% of Agnihotra ash to the soil, nitrogen fixing bacteria increased 100 times, and phosphorus solubilizing bacteria increased even 1,000 times. So that shows you add Agnihotra ash and you don't need these fertilizer, nitrogen, phosphorus, and so on. At the same time, harmful fungi were controlled. And that was also independently examined in one ICAR institute in Lucknow by Dr. Ram. And, there was no growth in these pathogenic fungi if you added Agnihotra ash. On the other hand, the beneficial bacteria, they were increased if you add Agnihotra ash. So that is quite interesting result. Now, one more thing, sodic soil and acidic soil, big problem all over the world. This experiment was done in some place between Unnao and that is between Lucknow and Kanpur, and they had very alkaline sodic soil, and they divided into 3 plots. One was with agrochemicals, one was organic with vermicompost, one was organic vermicompost with Agnihotra ash. And see, after 1 season, the pH in the plot with agrochemicals stayed same, 9.86. With vermicompost, it came down a little bit to 9.06, but with organic and Agnihotra ash, it came down by more than 2 points to 7.67, means nearly neutral. So on this soil, everything can grow. And it's not only about sodic soil, also acidic soil. There's a farm in Poland, and the pH was 4.4, very acidic. So the agricultural engineer told them, no, nothing will grow there. But they continued, they performed Agnihotra, they added Agnihotra ash, and see, everything grows there, all the vegetables, including tomatoes. Nobody there is able to grow tomatoes, but they grow everything. And then they tested the soil, and also it had come up to around 7. And these are important findings, because we have more than 800 million of hectares of sodic soil, and sodic and or saline soil, and approximately 180 million hectares of acidic soil worldwide. So if we could make these lands productive again, that would help a lot to increase agricultural production and feed a growing number of people. So I suggest to start such a project. The investment for such a trial is manageable, but the possible gain is huge, considering all the areas which could be made productive. So that was effects on environment. Now let's look at effects on plants itself, and then in agriculture in general. You know, that is a simple experiment. Everybody can easily do it, you know, even on school level. It can be done. It has been done. You just take some plate, some tissue, and water, and you add some seeds. And then each day you add water, normal water, tap water, and then Agnihotra ash water. But as we know, any ash has nutrients. It would not be fair to compare tap water with Agnihotra ash water. So what we do is we produce some ash, we call it control ash. We burn the same substance, cow dung, ghee, some rice, also in a copper vessel, but not the pyramid-shaped vessel, some other shaped vessel, but copper. And we don't use the mantras, and we don't do that at sunrise, sunset. So the chemical composition of control ash and Agnihotra ash probably is same, but still you see a big difference in the germination rate. Agnihotra ash is much better than control ash, and of course much better than the tap water. And that shows the result of plants growing in Agnihotra atmosphere. So this was adding Agnihotra ash. Here it was in Agnihotra atmosphere, and you see that shoot length and root length are much higher in Agnihotra atmosphere. Later on in the series of lectures, there will be one lady, Mrs. Limaya from Pune, who has done extensive research in this field also. So that will be also very interesting. Now, effect on plants. Many diseases have been cured, and many pests have been controlled, and several scientific experiments have been done. For example, at the Horticulture Research Institute of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University in Uti, they compared yield and quality of different flowers. The result was already shown by Dr. Sevamurthy, and they compared also, and they show that there's higher yields and increased disease resistance. Here you see the slide. Then a lot of work was done at Agriculture University in Palampur, Himachal Pradesh. Agnihotra ash was compared with other organic fertilizer, and then they tested it on lemongrass and Tagetes minuta. And with Agnihotra ash, quantity increased, oil content increased, disease resistant also was higher. Then there was a very interesting series of experiments done at Agricultural University in Dharwad. A series of 4 MSc theses was prepared. And they studied 4 plants: tomatoes, cabbage, soybeans, okra. And the parameters they studied was yield, pest and diseases, and the quality nutrient content. And the yield, HOMA versus non-HOMA, you see in all the different parameters for all the plants, there was a big increase in the increase with HOMA compared to non-HOMA. So that proves that if you go to organic HOMA farming, you will not have a loss in yield. Then they also controlled pests and diseases. Just two examples: tomatoes, leaf spot minus 37%, insect attack minus 40%, with cabbage similar. And here soybeans and okra also very similar results. Now about the nutrient content of plants, that is very important, because due to our pollution, there is a lack of nutrients in our food. So people, even if they have enough to eat, often they have deficiencies and then develop diseases because of this deficiency of nutrient contents. So, and also Ayurvedic doctors have told us that because of the pollution, the medical potency of plants is declining. So with Agnihotra, we can bring that back. One result was vanilla. It was grown, and the vanillin content was 36% by weight. The lab which controlled that thought they had made a mistake, because they never had measured such a high content. So they did the test a second time, but it was the same result. So that shows this oil content and nutrient content increases. Now again, these are a few results from the research done in Harvard University. Just one example: soybeans. They had 5% increase in protein, 9.5 increase in oil content, and also increase in all the enzymes.